y'all. Thinking about the moments we had ran from the police. Love forgive my sins, I'm blessed for all that you have done for me. Like babies, they want to rock every crib and put in my street. Fuck whatever it is, you know that you can count on me. And my dog, man, I represent. Still reppin' and put it on. When you get the one, pray that you making it back. Trust me, I need you back home. I miss all of my soldiers and all the soldiers who's gone. And I ask myself, why does that begin? I'm extreme, but you ask for colors. Hit the blunt yesterday, then I ashed it. Thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God y'all survive. Man, I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get high. So I get high.
Neighbors say it's gotten worse because more kids are picking up guns. I don't understand why they want to give their lives away doing that. Because when they get caught, they're going to prison.
High-tide stick radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We live, man. What everybody doing this morning? Monday, February 22nd. You're on High-Tide Stick Live with the doc. Sorry for the I don't do technical. Simple as pie. They freaking drive me nuts. So anyway, definitely a lot going on today. And a lot going on over the weekend, too, funny enough. A couple of the stories coming into the Kalamazoo shooting. 8 people shot in a rampage by the Uber driver over the weekend. And then, of course, coming out from Colorado, stone driving is down in Colorado. Just a heads up on that one. Also, weirdly enough, 3 of the stories today are coming out of Colorado. Colorado debates organic marijuana labels. And then, of course, a man arrested by U.S. Marshals for not paying a student loan debt. Yes, this is real. You cannot make this up. Indiana wants to increase drug penalties, but not marijuana. We are absolutely going to read that story. And then, of course, last but definitely not least, and the story that really, this story is frightening to me. I think would be the proper word to use. I think the word frightening absolutely is the proper word to come out of that break with, at least. Frightening, petrifying. I mean, can we use the word scary and not get in trouble for it? I mean, because it's that serious. I mean, it's scary, guys, what we're seeing here in Colorado. It really is. Absolutely. It's a trip, dude. Like this dog mauls this kid. I mean, first off, I want to explain to my listening audience or my listening body. I want to explain something to you very seriously. First out of the gate, first off and foremost. Okay. Probably the most, let me see here. Probably one of the most significant things that I would tell you is that there's definitely more to this story. Okay, so we did some looking into it, of course, because that's kind of our thing. That's what we do. But yeah, so but yeah, there's definitely more to this story than you guys really do know, and that's one of those things that most people know. If you just read the headline, it sounds a little weird. But I think there's more to the story. Now, what more to this story that it could be? I'll be very honest with you. I don't know the answer to that question. I really don't. I'm not even 100% sure um, what the more to the story is, if that makes better sense. Now, it's just one of those things. Let's see here. Just a second. So it's just one of those things where this story is a little interesting to me. By the way, shout out to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, if I forget one of the great, social media outlets, my apologies ahead of time. But, shout out to everybody who does follow us on those outlets and who does stick with us on those outlets. Let's see here. Hang on just a second. So I'm baffled is the word I would say. And sorry, it took me a second to pull my head out of my ass there, but I'm baffled to say the least, because it's concerning. It's absolutely concerning that a dog, dogs attack children. And it bothers me that there's a dog that a dog attacked a child, but at the same time, I do not want to mislead you into thinking that's just the blunt of the story. So what happens is there is a breeding company called Rare Danes, and and that says, by the way, just to be clear, this is where this took place. This was in El Paso County, Colorado, in Rush, which I do know happens to be not that far from Colorado Springs, but it's a little place called Rush, Colorado. And anyway, so the man that owns this dog breeding facility or whatever it is out there is facing misdemeanor charges after being investigated for his 3 dogs mauling 4 children Saturday night. Now, the guy's name, Mike Ingersoll, I believe is his name, faces charges of unlawful ownership of a dangerous dog, which is a misdemeanor in El Paso County. But also, there's like I said, there's a lot more to this. The 4 children were mauled by 3 Great Danes. Now, here's my concern with the Great Danes. I want to be very honest with you. Great Danes are not a bad dog breed. Shout out to our listeners on Periscope that just joined the conversation. And also shout out to our listeners on YouTube and across the pond in the UK. Shout out to you all too, because I love you, and that's my worst British accent, but I got a half of one. I'm still sick. I took Friday off, by the way, but we're back on Monday. There's just too much to happen over the weekend. I can't miss work on Monday, but I really feel still under the weather. But so please bear with me here. Yeah, so this dog, this situation concerns me, because what you have 4 children mauled by 3 Great Danes on Saturday night. All of them underwent successful surgery, and they're in stable condition. And this was as of Sunday, by the way. And it looks like the Sheriff's Department spokeswoman said that a woman who worked for the breeding facility went to go check on the dogs and had her 5 children. Her 5 children were also with her. The El Paso County Police Department spokesman, actually, her name is Jackie Kirby, by the way. She said that the woman took her children with her to the home of her boss. So the woman worked for the man who breeds the dogs, and she was there to check on the kids. It said that the woman told the authorities that she was checking on the animals in the barn when she heard screams from her children, and then when she came back around, they had already been attacked. Amber Sareth is her name, I believe, helps with the rehabilitation of dogs at the National Mill Dog Rescue. She said that there are signs that people can watch for to avoid dog attacks. She says that dogs are actually very fearful, and people aren't good at reading the signs because sometimes it's a really it's kind of a really like subdued thing. They don't put out their fear like, hi, I'm scared, I'm a puppy and I'm scared. But and it says that they'll absolutely lash out or bite a child because go figure why. I mean, when you're looking at adults, you're big enough as an adult that you have the intimidation factor, you have the size factor. The dog's going to become aggressive and angry. I took a seminar class deal on animal psychology, and anyway, long story short, the dog's in fear of its for itself, much like you. Your human instinct, your inner human instinct is fight or flight. Simple as that. Your inner human instinct is fight or flight. All right? By the way, if you're listening on YouTube, Periscope, anywhere across the world, tell us where you're listening from and we'll give you a shout out. But anyway, so when it comes to dogs are not that dissimilar from humans in the aspect of we are a pack species, or in human terms we call it communal or communitive. We're a communitive species. Dogs are too. They're a pack species. They generally live in groups and etc. They will defend each other to the death, much like we will. And the thing that concerns me with this though is that when it comes to dogs, you can intimidate them as an adult, but as a child, they're still scared of the kid, but the kid's their size. So they're not. When it comes to am I going to fight or flight, a dog is going to fight. When it's a small child or a child that is there intimidating them, whether this and listen, I don't want to sit there and put out that bad buzz like that these kids are out there starting stuff with the dogs or throwing rocks at the dogs or barking at the dogs or something crazy like that. This probably isn't even the first time this lady's probably went out there and checked on these dogs with her kids, and so it's just one of those things where you have a kid gets bit, maybe gets nipped, screams, freaks out, the dogs freak out, and then what you have is you have multiple dogs in a pack mentality aggressively going after anything and everything around them. And so this is one of those things where this is why you shouldn't kiss your dog in the face or kiss a dog in the face unless it's your dog. That's a human gesture to show affection. If you want to kiss a dog, sniff its butt. I'm guessing sniff its butt. If that's what you want, sniff its butt. That's the best I got, guys. Sniff its butt. So she also, so these are some of the things. So this happened in Colorado, by the way, on Saturday evening. And it's just outside of Colorado Springs. For many of my listeners and viewers know, I lived in Colorado for like 15 years and just not too far from the small town of Rush where this happened at. And one thing I can tell you is that, so I see a lot of these stories from out there, but it sparked a really big conversation online with some friends of mine and me. It alerted some of my friends and me to really start to discuss this and sort of take a look at this situation or take a look at this dog attack on these children and kind of go, sit back and if you would wonder why, like why did this really happen? What really caused this little issue to happen? Why did this go down? What is the sort of the story behind it? So, and some of these comments are actually outrageous. To the degree of both sides, really. Well, this one right here says, "I hope the children are able to make it for recovery." His breeding business was called Rare Danes. Who made them rare? I wonder. Pictures of the dogs and the owner would be good. Let's see here. Thought they were defending the property. Okay, so this one says that these dogs are usually docile, and I think that they thought they were defending the property. This is something that I do agree with. Great Danes are traditionally not a dog that you're gonna see bite. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something you're gonna see. I'm a little blown away by that, actually, that it's a Great Dane, to be honest with you, because of the fact that it's just one of those things where it it begs to differ. It's just one of those things. Like, for instance, 86% of attack dogs introduce bodily harm. 81% of dog attacks are actually against against children, from what I understand. So that's one of the highlights of some of these statistics. 86% of dog attacks result in maiming, which it's like a very, very, very dangerous, or very, very, very serious bodily injury, essentially. So again, blown away by this. Actually, blown away by this. Like, I really don't even know how to take this, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because it should be something that concerns us. It should be something that bothers us. But at the same time, you know, what's the real story here? What really happened? I mean, I'm looking at the top, like, let's see. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 breeds of dogs on this list here who are known for dog bites, I guess, or the big ones, if you would, right? 13 dogs are listed here, and I can promise you that the dog that's in question isn't one of them. We're going to go to break. When we come back from break, we are going to absolutely dive right into the next thing, which is going to be, of course, going over what these dogs are, the top breeds in attack, and then we're going to get into our next story, of course, why a man was arrested for not paying his student loans. All that and more after the break. You're going to see High Tide Stick with the Doc, MistaTre, on YouTube. High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube. The National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Arsfest. Arsfest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. Right now, at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Arsfest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956.
Yeah, nigga. Don't know what it is, huh? Niggas sticking in the woods out here, huh? Niggas sticking in the woods out here, huh? Niggas sticking in the woods out here, huh? Bullshit. One shot, half the thing, hit your brain, make your body go. I got shells for this beef like a taco shop. Round down niggas about drama. Push the line tough when it's any type of problem. Raised in the streets, run a real old timers. It's still the most scary column. Don't find me in the front. You can know where I'm from by the color of my chest. Saggy, crease with the cuff, fat C on my hat like I play for the Cubs. And I stay strapped up when I'm belling, cause my whip's the same color as a Vikings helmet. All purple, put that on my mind, blind murky. Have flames on your head like Michael's Pepsi commercial. I don't think they wanna start no conflict, nonsense. You're in this boy, you better mind it. I spit all shit, shooting for the gangsters that'll put the metal in your mouth like you was getting racist. In my city full of constant beef, we go to war with the niggas right across the street. Don't say much, we all know talk is cheap. Catch fades anywhere, no barbecue. Peak, I'm from a place where the innocent still hopeless. Skip math class to come and eat Brody. Keep something chunky, stay fully loaded. That'll have your homies on the block pouring out photos. Lose your life in any given moment. We all in the set and we deeper than the ocean. Check the swag, Yeah, nigga, I gang. So I ain't in the tight shirt and skinny jean thing. That on business. Keep my head cocked to the left, burner on me when I'm headed to the set. Case niggas won't trip. I'll squeeze everyone in the clip, let it up to the bang, go click, nigga, that's on. Till I die for life, all brands keep the business on sight. I ain't playing with them long niggas. Niggas ain't fucking with me. I put that on DVGC, nigga, that's on. Yeah, all fingers fed. I'm on niggas' heads if they wanna take it there. Never scared. I'm with whatever you with. From the gunplay, I take it to the fist. Full-fledged with the function. Ain't nothing you wanna come get it. West with it. Protect me, your whole chest, mister. Never slip. Me mugging and get you laid flat. Dump your body off where the lake at. I suggest you lay flat. My young boys is acting, tripping. And on the squeeze first, and then ask questions. On the mask for cash, I get it till I'm gone. Play around with my sacks, then the pistol till you don't. Let's get it on. No joke, I stay in the streets, screaming free Dirty D and Young Breeze. And you can ask Breeze, Diesel and Pool. It's 10 dukes till the wheels loose. Nigga, get that on. Keep my head cocked to the left, burner on me when I'm headed to the set. Case niggas won't trip. I'ma squeeze everyone in the clip, let it up to the bang, go click, nigga, that's on. Till I die for life, all brands keep the business on sight. I ain't playing with them long niggas. Niggas ain't fucking with me, and I put that on DVGC, nigga, that's on. I do mines like this. If you gangbang, niggas slide like this, like this. I do mines like this. If you get money, niggas slide like this, like this. I do mines like this. If you gangbang, niggas slide like this, like this. I do mines like this. If you get money, niggas slide like this, like this.
We're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio. Yeah, we're back. We're back from break. Welcome back, by the way. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, Periscope, across the nation and globe. Shout out to the more than 20 interactive listeners that were just on Periscope, by the way. Shout out to you guys. Can't work the damn Periscope camera. Just figured that out real quick. Gee, my knees. So, shout out to, of course, everybody listening, following us across the nation. Go beyond High Tide Stick Radio with the Doc MistaTre. We're, of course, live from Tampa, Florida. It's February 22nd. Last segment, before we went to break, we were talking about this dog attack in Colorado Springs. It's just driving me freaking nuts. I think that part of what's driving me nuts is the lack of information. I think the other thing that's driving me nuts is not only the lack of information about the dog attacks, but I think the other thing that's driving me nuts about it is some of these people saying this, like it's the mom's fault that the kids were attacked by the dogs. You know, it may be though. Did the mom know that the owner had dogs that were vicious? I guess the problem is that the breed really bothers me. This is a docile breed. Great Danes are timid animals. For them to attack, I almost want to say, I want to verge without the information to say this. I want to verge. I'm not saying this. For all you assholes out there, they're trying to put me on blast and say, oh, MistaTre said that. Fuck you. It's not what I said. I said I'm on the verge of saying these kids probably did something to cause this. Because I don't know that yet. I'm a reporter. I'm reporting the information I fucking have. That's it. So, top breeds that attack people, children, adults, doesn't matter. Pit Bull number 1, Rottweiler number 2, Husky number 3. Any wolf hybrid is number 4. Let's see, a Bull Mastiff is number 5. Oh, wow, I really wanted one of those, but I will not own something that's going to attack my kids. German Shepherd, any Pit Bull mixed comes down the list. Akita, Doberman, unidentified mixed breeds list, you know, gets in the list. Boxers, German Shepherd mix. So again, those are the dogs that are the most likely to attack children, to attack adults, to attack anybody. Here's the mind blower. What don't you see on that list? Great Danes. You don't see Great Danes on that list because Great Danes aren't generally a dog that you're going to find that attacks people. It's just not going to happen. Great Danes don't usually do that. I'm really baffled by this story. I genuinely am. Totally baffled by this story. It's interesting, to say the least. But anyway, so I just wanted to, like I said, we just got back from break. I wanted to give you those breeds that are legitimately the ones that are listed. That, by the way, those statistics, I don't make up shit. I don't get shit statistics. Those statistics are based on information and data that has been collected from 1982 until 2014. So there is absolutely a humongous fucking sample size there. A humongous fucking size of data to sample. By the way, this bud's for you, everybody out there in the world. You know, we're a weed radio station. We gotta at least smoke weed. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So moving on. This is a story that I'm really disturbed by, probably more than anything. So, believe it or not, I am absolutely stuffed up. That's not hard to believe. I'm still sick, guys, by the way. I took off Friday. There was no show on Friday. You can watch any of our old shows on demand. We're up to 60 episodes this season. You can watch any one of them. I recommend episode 20, by the way. Go to the YouTube page, watch on demand episode 20. That's what I recommend. But anyway, so this story blows my fucking mind right now. So, a man was arrested by U.S. Marshals for not paying his student loan debt. Now, just like many of the stories that we bring to the table, I wish that was all of the information and that was the end of the story, because then I would slam the U.S. Marshals. I'd throw the book at the U.S. Marshals, to be completely frank with you. I'd slam them. I would go to town. I would take them to task. I would go after their heads. I would. But unfortunately, I have a strong doubt in my mind that the U.S. Marshals are actually probably at fault here. Why? Why the fuck are the U.S. Marshals arresting people at their house over student loan debts? That's the question. See, people, listen, you want to be smart. You want to be politically savvy. You want to be intelligent, or at least to me appear to be intelligent. Start asking the right fucking questions. Start asking the questions that nobody else asks. That's how you become a good reporter. That's how you want a good listening base. Be controversial. Ask the shit that nobody will. Take the other side when other people won't. Now, don't ever subject your morals, to anything, but take the other side. Find the fuck out what's going on. The worst thing you can do is nothing. It's why I'm going to meet with politicians tomorrow, because the worst thing you can do is nothing. So, believe it or not, though, the U.S. Marshals Service, and this is the one that's going to get you, the U.S. Marshals Service in Houston is arresting people for not paying their outstanding federal student loans. That's the claim, according to Fox 26, that would be Fox's Houston affiliate out in Houston, Texas. So it says that around February 15th, this is when this happened, by the way. It's quickly gone viral on the internet. You can go and check this out. It's all, like I said, there's stories all over the internet about this, because it's been going on, for about a week ago this happened. But anyway, so here's what happened. A man by the name of Paul Aker, who said he was arrested at his home last week for a $1,500 federal student loan he received in 1987, a team of 7 combat geared with automatic weapons. Again, this is the U.S. fucking Marshals. They're not even going to come in with handguns anymore, guys. See, y'all fucked up and y'all gave federal agents that had handguns were dangerous enough. police with handguns were dangerous enough. Then you fucked around and you gave them automatic and assault rifles. Good job, guys. And now every Tom, Dick, and Harry in America wants a fucking assault rifle because they're scared of the fucking police. I'm sure I have a C to minus to D rating from the fucking NRA, but they can suck a dick because I love guns. I just don't think everybody needs a fucking assault rifle. You do not need a fucking armory in your home. I don't care if 10 people come in your house. Shotgun blast will shatter them all. You keep a gauge for the crib, you keep a strap for yourself. It's that simple. You don't need all that other crazy nonsense. So suck that one, fucking NRA. And here's the thing is, it's not my goal to take on the NRA, by the way, just in general. But, you know, let me get off my tangent and get back on topic here. But it's not my goal to take on the NRA. But on the flip side of the coin, I can't fucking stand when we interject or when we stand back idly and allow people to arm themselves in a way that you don't. It's just not necessary. And then use the Constitution to slam it home. At the time of the Constitution, it was written that way because of the way things were and the way things could go. Nowadays, I go, everybody doesn't need automatic assault rifles. It's just, I mean, I get leveling the playing field because a lot of Americans go, well, you know, everybody had muskets. Well, that's because there was only like one or two real guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had the rifle and you had the handgun. They were all, you know, usually the barrel loaded, packed down, freaking flintlock type rifles, flintlock type pistols that had been around for 200 years by that, or 100 years by that time, 100, 200 years by that time, whatever it was. So again, on this deal with this guy, so the U.S. Marshals come to his house. They kick in his door, allegedly over $1,500 in student loans. Now, by the way, I did read this story ahead of time because I probably would have never even had this story on the show had I not read it already. It's just by virtue of just kind of the way things go, I guess. I don't know. But either way, it's disturbing to me, though, this story as it goes on, if you really want to know the truth. So the guy, he, let's see here. So the thing is that he said that the guy says he was at home and he didn't do anything wrong. And he was wondering why the U.S. Marshals were knocking on his door. So see, the thing is, it's not like they came and kicked in the door, guns ablazing. No, they actually knocked on the door. And but I still don't understand why a team of 6 men that were tactically armed came to the door. Because I'm telling you right now, if a 6-man team comes to my door, armed down like a TAC team, I'm running the other way. I'm not armed. I used to carry a gun every day. I don't anymore. I don't want to say what's what, but for those of you that have known me long enough and have been a fan of mine long enough, you know, you kind of know at least the outer onion circle of the story. And so let's just say that I do not have any weaponry on me, and I'm going to run the other way because I don't have any weaponry on me. And I'm going to run the other way because you're not going to come in my house, kill me, plant a gun on me, and then tell my family and my friends that I tried to kill you. Because that's bullshit, and that's what you do. And you know you fucking do it. And you know you back each other's story, and you know you back each other's lies because you're scumbags. That's what you are to me. You're scumbags. The feds are scumbags. Most city and state cops are scumbags as a whole. Now, I know there's always that individual 1 guy or 2 guys or 3 guys or 4. They're actually decent officers of the law. And I also know that there's scumbags out there that are so bad that cops think they have to kill everybody because of these few gentlemen. And that petrifies me. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be killed by the cops. Just kind of not my thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I would be severely concerned if the feds just kicked in my door, though. Like legit, I would be very concerned. I'm still wondering. Like there has to be more, or there is more. There has to be more to the story than what they're giving. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be very legitly real with you. There has to be more to the story than what they're giving you. Because and by the way, of course, we do have that more to the story that they weren't giving you, because we like to be facetious and pretend like we don't know, but we know. We read the story. We know. So first off, and to make my first point, by the way, is that this clown, what he's not telling people, where he's being a little dishonest and he's not telling people, is this clown actually was summoned to pay the full balance and ordered by the courts April 2017, because he was actually sued by the federal government, or by the collection agency that represents the federal government. Either way, and so even when the U.S. Marshals released their statement, they said that Aker resisted arrest and retreated back into his home, I would assume closing the door or running, when agents arrived. And so yes, he was arrested, they said, but not just because he owed a little student loan debt. He was disobeying a court order. Regardless of whether you're ordered to pay, see, this is where civil and criminal law overlap, and I don't agree with it. I really don't. We're going to talk about this more when we get back from the break. I'm, of course, the Doc MistaTre, and you're on High Tide. Stick with the Doc MistaTre. You're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide. Stick right.
Overdose. Overdose, I'm in over my head. I said what I should have said. I'm living it, should be dead. I'm coming, you should be scared. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. All alone, in the lane of my own. I'm alone. All alone, in the lane of my own. I'm alone. All alone. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. Overdose, and I'm in over my head. Take you blessed the head. Coming, you should be scared. Me against the world of Tupac and with a Glock. Cause I don't want to go before my time up on the clock. They say when you on the screen, everybody wanna watch. They say boy, you at the bottom, you'll never reach the top. Heavy hearted, my emotions got dropped. Maneuver with the movement, man, my motion won't stop. Cause it's money over everything. Maybe even you got a distance on the side, man. Maybe you too. They all say they love him, but you know how bitches do. Niggas are falsified, and I just remain true. I said, damn. Scheme while getting scammed, my switch and getting rammed. I hate thinking about that bullshit. And the stress, working real hard without resting. OT till I OD. That's right. Overdose, I'm in over my head. I said it what I should have said. I'm living, it should be dead. I'm coming, you should be scared. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. All alone in the lane of my own. I'm alone.
I'm alone. I'm coming in, almost there. I'm coming, they can't compare where I'm going. They never there. I'm alone. And I ain't talking in the victim sense. Talking, I'm on a whole other level. This shit in my sense. Without my paper in my sense, I want it all. Nothing less. You smell success, that's been my sense. You fuck me once, I ain't forget. No handkerchief for falling tears. On that bitch, you telling stories. Disappear, went down and out. But now found when half the glory category. Bitch made it, you know what's and what's about it. And please don't ever doubt it. Fuck your help, I'm here without it. For real. Cause I done made it on my lonesome. With you on shoulder, chips of soda, feeling like you wrote some. Can't expect your intellect to see the will of no none. But how the hell you bite that hand that feeds you when there's no one? They gon' come and go, and I know that shit true. Take that picture of Van Gogh so you clearly see who the fuck I am. A giant from my point of view. From skyscraper view, what I do see this cute. So I overdose and I'm in over my head. I said what I should have said. I'm living it should be dead. I'm coming, you should be scared. I'm coming in, I'm there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. All alone in the land of my home. I'm alone. All alone in the land of my home. I'm alone. All alone. I'm coming in, I'm there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone.
Hip-hop concert tour, Arsfest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Arsfest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956.
I'm a doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We're back. We're back and we're live, of course, on YouTube, Periscope, several other places around the world and globe. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those. It's at High Tide Stick. Of course, you can also follow me, MistaTre. Just Google it. You'll find it all. But it's probably better if you just go, like on Facebook, it's MistaTre. On Reverb Nation, it's MistaTre. On everything, it's MistaTre except Periscope and Twitter because it's the real MistaTre there. And that's mostly because I had Twitter before any of them. And somebody had used the name, but I actually, like, I'm the real MistaTre. Like, like that's a recording artist name. It's a brand. You can call yourself whatever you want on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but that doesn't mean that you're that real person, like the real radio guy, the real, the real AM/FM original talk show host of Pot Radio, the real sports broadcaster, the real recording artist, that guy. You're not him. So I had to get that, the real, that's what I was advised to do by Twitter, is put the real MistaTre. Because even though I own my name, I can't force somebody to change their name on Twitter. But I was pissed, though. Because back in the day, you really could do that, though. So I was pretty pissed. So we're, of course, back from break. You're on Live with the Doc on High Tide Stick Radio, the only and best marijuana radio station here in Florida. So here's the deal, guys. The one thing that really blows my mind here is the shooting in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Again, 8 people shot during a rampage by an Uber driver, which really makes me concerned. Like, do I really want to call and get an Uber driver now, because my Uber driver might try to bust a cap in my ass. You know what I'm saying? This, yeah, Mary Jane Radio. Shout out, by the way, to people listening Periscope. Tell me where you are, and I'll give you a shout out. Just let me know. But anyway, that's swag. I don't smoke swag. I have a medical marijuana red card and a license. I smoke medical grade marijuana, if that's what you're asking. Oh, shout out from India in Shokat Ali. What up, India in the house today? That's what's up. And then, oh, Wales. You know what's up? Shout out to Wales. I love you guys over there in the UK. I used to live in Europe. A lot of my fans who have been around, they really do know. They know me, and they know like, you know, my past, but I actually have been all over Europe. I lived in Europe for 5 years. Love you guys out there in Britain. Have a big, huge following in Brussels and the UK and over in Spain and France and India. So I love it. But anyway, let's get back to this Uber driver. Thank you. Keep us on topic, right? So with this Uber driver shooting, there was a mother that was shot outside of her apartment. A father and son were shot checking out cars at a car dealership, at a Kia dealership. A group of women, 4 women, and a teenage girl heading home after watching a play were gunned down. All 4 women were murdered, senselessly murdered. The 14-year-old girl, by the way, great news to some degree. The 14-year-old girl was is still alive. She's had surgery. And the 14-year-old girl, and yes, there was a 9-year-old that got shot. The 14-year-old girl is again, from what I saw last before we came on air. I've been on air for 50 minutes now. We've been on air since 9 a.m. and this is an hour-long show. So I haven't seen any new reports. Obviously, I'm checking the ticker during the break as much as I can, but I haven't seen any new reports or anything like that. But I can tell you that either way, a lot of people senselessly killed by this Uber driver. He's kind of a chubby white guy with silver hair. He's middle-aged, it looks like. I'm not sure how old he is, but he looks middle-aged. His name is, by the way, Jason Brian Dalton is his name. That's the name that he was booked under in the jail out there in Kalamazoo. He was booked under Jason Brian Dalton. That's his name. Yes, actually, I did. I remember seeing that on CNN. His neighbor said he was a nice guy. He seemed polite. But here's an interesting fact. The first guy that really knew like something was up, right? You know, like when the police time you to get or put this together, if you've ever taken any type of criminal justice classes, you learn how to do the offender's timeline. What did they do? Where did they go? Who did they speak with? It's how you get that information through canvassing, and after you canvass, then you're able to go ahead and question the right people. So with that said, the timeline starts with the first person that noticed something funny. So a guy gets the Uber guy. The Uber guy shows up to pick him up. He gets in the car, and he kind of like, he said that the guy was kind of like, seemed a little off, like something was like wrong with him maybe, or something wasn't right about him. And so, but then he like started like crossing over like the like the little dip in the median, and he's just like, he said he was driving erratically, and the minute he had a chance to jump out, he said he jumped out and ran for his life. So right there, right then and there, that's the start of something going on, because right after that, what ends up happening is that we have 8 people gunned down mercilessly, which is horrible. This is why I continue to say that, you know, there's going to be a lot of information that comes out. My questions are, and if you have any courage and news, it's your job to it's your job that what's the word I want to say? It's your job to ask the tough questions. Ask the questions that are right. Like, my question is, does this guy have any history of mental unease? Any history of mental duress? Any history of any history of Geesh, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm spitballing here, but I'm like, did the guy have any history that proves that he shouldn't have a gun? This is why mental health, domestic violence, all these other issues, including gun control, have to be pushed together. You can't separate. This is why I probably get a D grade from the NRA, even though I absolutely support owning your own gun. But the catch is that there has to be a way, there has to be a system to put things into place that include that the rules, the laws, the standards, who can, who can't, all have to come from, not just, did you commit a felony? Then fuck you, you can't have a gun. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe somebody committed a felony because they embezzled money. I'm not really worried if that guy still got a handgun. Seriously, not. But I can promise you that the guy that beat the shit out of his wife and got a misdemeanor for domestic violence and probably did his probation and got it off his record, yeah, I'm fucking petrified of that fuck. That fuck's why I got guns when I had them. That fuck's the reason why I'm worried about people's lives around me. Because an embezzler who's a felon, if he might be trying to steal my money or get me to invest in shit that's horse shit. But the truth is that the non-investor is the person that, or the person who's exactly. That's a great point on Periscope, the training program. Huh. But anyway, the investor, or not, the investor guy doesn't bother me. If he still needs a gun when he gets done with his time, fine, as long as he hasn't committed a violent crime. But we have violent offenders on misdemeanor violent offenses that can still get guns. Now, listen, also, you know, I've spoken out for a long time about automatic rifles. I love to go shoot them for sport. I don't think that you should be able to just have one all the time on you. That's ridiculous to me. You shouldn't be armed better than a Marine in Fallujah. You really shouldn't. You should never be armed better than a Marine in Fallujah or Kandahar. What the hell? It's very ridiculous. So, but handgun, personal safety. Shotgun, home safety. I get that. I've owned both. I get it. Fine. Automatic handguns, hell no. To my wonderful viewer, tell me where you're at. I want to know where you're at. Just tell me where you're at so I can give you a shout out. But one of my viewers on Periscope, for those of you that are over here on YouTube and can't see what they're saying, but my thing is that when it comes to automatic weapons, oh, that's right, India. They're talking to us, of course, from India. When it comes to automatic weapons and gun control, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I understand having a handgun for personal safety, because if you pull one on me, I'd rather you die than me. It's not personal. It's just the way it fucking is. I don't want to die, so you can die. You know, go die, do your thing. Sorry, sucks to be you, bro. Have a good day. But I'm not personally trying to die, no. So it blows my mind. Gun control blows my mind because, first off, we're not using it. Second off, it's not being enforced. I don't think it's being enforced properly at all. And third off, I think that I didn't see your comment. If you can repost it before we get out of here, we're getting ready to cut to break. But if you can repost it, I'd love to hear what you wrote. But this is absolutely the evidentiary fact of why you need gun control. Whether you like it or not, whether you want gun control out there, people, it is an evidentiary fact that this is why you have to have gun control. We're going to get out of here for the day. Well, if this is, of course, the end of our show, you've been watching High Toxic with the Doc, MistaTre, right here on YouTube, Periscope, across the globe. Shout out to India again. Wales in the house today commenting. Love you guys. Thanks for being on the show with us as well. And the interactive show on Periscope can be done every day at the real MistaTre, at the real MISTA. He said, I would not feel safe with my neighbors owning semi-automatic rifles in their house. No, and that's just it. I'm with you. I feel comfortable with me. Peace.
By the way, what's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, man. We are on this, so you know how we feel so real. Yeah. No Jamaican, we done one Puerto Rican, #1 sons. One joy for the world, all for one man. Yeah, man, we smoke all day, so for God's man. Lord never surrender me, can't turn wrong. Sammy between my toes, it feels so good. But they never thought I'd bring the island straight to the hood. But tonight's more fireflies and black songs. Whatever y'all summer days, the night we get to the party like we should. Stand up for your honey, everything will be alright. In the city we try to run, no they know the fight. But tonight I got sent to the clubs, not playing no room in the right. You play to the nation that I got for Dominican and Haitian, Puerto Ricans, Cubanos, Yaman. But from the American nation, I play back and go and play somebody from the Caribbean, Jersey, next race. So, who's the real mix between them to replace it? You won't go watch this beer with ladies and the racing. Like you see, now me one of my kind of trades, like the foundations of the world more than history pages. Tonight's about peace, knowing get back to the raging. No one service occasion, no out of all occasions. Embrace the moment, get the letter shots to make you open up, like no crazy. Stand up for your everything will be alright. In the city, we try to run, no they know the fight. But tonight I gotta say, when the doors back, playing no home, no right. If you black, white, Asian, Caribbean, or Spanish, then let's enjoy the summer night, let the hate down, Rossi vanish. Let's be more like the real catch piece, and I put it on my damn head. Chill out over that one, and let's talk about why we blowing cannabis. I'm just saying, we can be free on deep meditation. Look at this evil focus on the negative and the generating. Songs playing, we can just win, and hell yeah, celebrating. Don't make me feel like old mercy like you're better hating. What a lovely king, the king till the day. Me born the king, one long and the guy, no lie, no do you know how me feel now, mama? I stick as a cannabis news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to the Doc. Stick radio.